Hi, this is a recorded lecture for the IB DP Design Technology. We're looking at forming techniques. This is A4.1.8. This is HL content and design in theory. Big picture, you need to be able to select an appropriate manufacturing technique used for working with different materials to produce the products that we produce. From the IB, forming techniques modify the shape of a material without adding or removing any material. You must be able to explain how components are produced using forming techniques, including bending, press forming, casting, molding, and that's injection, extrusion, rotational, blow, and vacuum processes. So first of all, forming techniques are mechanical processes used in manufacturing to reshape materials without removing or adding any of that material. And that's the key thing here. In the additive process and in the subtractive process, we're either adding material or taking away material. In forming process, we're essentially just making them occupy a different shape. So we're reshaping them. And this is sometimes called shaping. Some common techniques are extrusion, bending, injection molding, and casting. So with bending, usually you're bending sheet metal, and it's usually sheet metal fabrication processes that uses force to create angular or curved shapes. So usually we're doing V or U or some sort of channel by plastically deforming the material along a straight axis. And the design context that you would use for this is creating structural rigidity in components like brackets, frames, or enclosures. You can see that right here. This is a punch and a piece of sheet metal. And of course, usually these are quite a bit longer, but you can see that they would bend the metal in that shape and plastically deform it. So it's going to stay like this, right? Because that's what plastic deformation means, that it takes a new shape. This is a great video. It's quite short, but it shows you how an automated CNC bending machine works. And you can see that it's bending this piece of sheet metal into more or less a box shape. Molding is a suite of manufacturing techniques that uses a mold to shape materials into a desired form. So some key characteristics of this: it uses a custom designed mold cavity to define the final object shape. Material is forced into or around the mold until it solidifies. It's commonly used for complex geometries and mass production, and examples include injection molding and blow molding. So let's look at injection molding. Injection molding is used to produce parts or products by injecting molten material into a mold cavity. Common materials used are thermoplastics, so things like ABS or polyethylene or polypropylene, thermosetting plastics like epoxy or phenolic, and elastomers like rubber. Products or parts are produced by injecting plastic into molds. They can be considered a clean technology as there's very little waste. The materials used are usually thermoplastics, and design contexts include most plastic products that you buy, because most of those are injection molded. One thing to consider, though, is that, and we'll talk more about this, the dies, or this part where the plastic is injected into, are very expensive. But the individual part that comes out of those, so the piece that comes out of those, the plastic piece, is cheap. Blow molding is a process of inflating a hot, hollow thermoplastic that is inside a closed mold. A hot blast of air is sent in, which expands the plastic so it conforms with the mold cavity. It can be considered a clean technology as there's very little waste. The materials used are usually thermoplastics, but also glass, and design contexts include plastic and glass bottles and other hollow containers. When you have a drink bottle or a Coke bottle, those are going to be blow molded. Rotational molding, this is when you have a heated hollow mold that is rotated during the heating up of the plastic and cooling. The materials used are thermoplastics, and the design context are very large plastic items like this water tank that you would see on top of a roof. That's going to use rotational molding, but also buoys that you find out in the ocean, pontoons, or large toys like a slide for kids. Those kinds of things would be rotationally molded. Press forming is also known as compression molding, and this is a manufacturing process where a material is pressed into a mold to create an object or a component. The material is heated so it's pliable. It is then placed in an open mold that closes and compresses the material into the shape of the mold cavity. It can be considered a clean technology as there's little waste. The materials used are thermoset plastics, ceramics, and some thermoplastics. And we get composite materials such as sinks and tubs and things like that. You can have a plastic sheet that is heated until pliable, placed into a mold to form a shape, and vacuumed to form the part. You can watch this video to see how that works. We're going to be using thermoplastics with this, and the design context includes disposable cups, egg cartons, trays, refrigerator liners, that kind of thing. We have material extrusion. This is the process of forming a material by forcing it through a die, resulting in objects with a fixed cross section. My favorite example of this is always the Play-Doh Fun Factory. You can watch this quick video, it's 30 seconds, and it shows you the pliable material, which in this case is Play-Doh, being forced through a die, which in this case are these things right here. But this is an actual molding process here that we would use in industry, and you can watch this video also. But what's happening is plastic pellets or ductile metals, things like aluminum, are heated until pliable, and then they're forced through a die. The material used are, of course, thermoplastics, but also ductile metals. And the design context would be any sort of long, extended pieces with specific cross sections. So, like window frames are a typical example of this. Some advantages and disadvantages of molding. They are, for the advantages, there's fast production, material and color flexibility, and low waste, and a lot of design flexibility. The disadvantages are it's really got a high initial capital cost, especially for the molds that you're using or the dies. The part and sizes are restricted and not easy to change, and post-processing is necessary for some of the designs. Let's talk about casting. This is a process of creating an object by filling it with a molten material. And so you can watch this. This is cast iron, and this is bronze casting. And those give you an example of casting. With die casting, this is used to produce parts typically made from non-ferrous metals, such as aluminum, zinc, or magnesium, using a mold cavity into which molten metal is injected under high pressure. The process is known for its ability to produce parts with high precision and excellent surface features. And again, please watch this video to get a sense of what that looks like. Some advantages and disadvantages of casting. Advantages include complex shapes that can be made. It's cost effective in the sense that unit costs of cast pieces are relatively inexpensive. And you've got flexibility in size, although the complexity of the cast increases with that size. Some disadvantages: finishing is required. It's labor intensive for sand casting. Dies for die casting are expensive to produce, and large casts are complex. Thank you for watching.